Hello, I'm Mad Uncle Morgan, and if this sheet is to be believed, we're talking ritual safety. 101. That makes this sound like this is the first of a series. What was that, kind viewer? You don't want a series of ritual safety if you have to watch me. Well, I suppose that in itself is a ritual safety tip. Do not do ritual with Mad Uncle Morgan. Heck, if you do that, you're probably perfectly safe in all other respects. So go forth, do your rituals, and completely ignore that I tried to give you advice. Live and let whoosh. Oh. Why would you need to practice some ritual safety procedures? Well, it's quite possible to actually seriously injure yourself during ritual. I have done it. I have friends who have done it. I have seen friends do it. I actually have worked rituals with people that we actually start the ritual off with. So-and-so is liable to injure themselves. Have the ambulance on speed dial. So what is a way you could possibly hurt yourself during ritual? Well, you could injure yourself by stabbing yourself. Because of that, I recommend you have a dull blade. This one is super dull, as you can see. But even this one has actually drawn blood. There was one point where I was doing the Kabbalistic cross, and I jammed it into my chin. Didn't go in deep, but it did draw blood. So beware of sharp objects. Especially if your sharp object looks like this. Not sure if you can see that real well. Try this. Yeah. See? Yes. It's for carving sigils and candles. But if you do the Kabbalistic cross with this, you could, kind of stab your tongue with this, because this is an ice pick, by the way, from the World Fair in 1939, which was in San Francisco. And at one time, people used to kill people with ice picks. Hey, just saying, they used to. Not to give anybody ideas on how to murder people and ritual. There is a time when you actually do need to use a sharp object, and that one's carving runes. And I prefer using an X-Acto knife for that, or a retractable box cutter. And yes, you will bleed occasionally when carving runes. And the joke is that the runes were hungry, okay? And the gods chose to take their sacrifice in blood this time. Under normal conditions with runes, I use red ochre to charge them with. But occasionally blood happens in that situation. Can't be helped. Another way you can get injured in ritual is open flames. Because we work with candles, and there's this general idea that electric lights is not good with, ritual magic. We use candles. You have to watch your young children around candles, because they could go whoosh. Gotta watch your pets around candles, because they could go whoosh. For the record, cat hair smells really bad when it burns. once had a cat stick their tail directly into a candle and went whoosh. It was a blue flame that stunk. Cat never did that ever again. Cat lived, only a little bit of singeing on the tail, but they refused to go near a lit candle ever again. And it's my fault for not being aware of the fact that a cat could go whoosh. But most scary of all is I have a friend who I occasionally do ritual with, who could go whoosh. My dear friend Amy is kind of prone to setting herself on fire. It just happens. She goes, come near the candle, and she goes whoosh. So be aware of open candle flames. Another thing to be aware of is there's no such thing as a safe dose of a poisonous plant. There's this idea that if you do it just right, you can use magical plants to alter your consciousness, and the poisonous ones are really good for this. Yeah, you could alter your consciousness into dead. So you gotta be very careful when using poisonous plants. In fact, I would argue that you should never use poisonous plants, ever. But you're probably not going to listen to me, and you probably have actually quit watching this. So, go ahead, use poisonous plants. We'll just view it as adding to the average IQ of the population. Last tip for today is be sure at the end of a ritual to actually eat and drink something. In Golden Dawn, there's the mystical repast, and in Wicca, there's cakes and ale. And there's an important reason to actually, eat and drink something after a ritual, because you can be energy drunk. Rituals alter our consciousness, and occasionally that alter consciousness will go walking down the sidewalk, swaying from side to side. And let's be honest, it's better to be on the sidewalk, swaying side to side, than it is driving a car, going side to side. And eating and drinking something helps ground you and bring you back to a normal state of consciousnness. The best theory I've heard about this is that one of my friends noticed one time that, what we partake of all supply electrolytes, and her theory is that it's a depletion of electrolytes that causes this energy drunkenness. Of course, there could also be the fact that there's energy work and magic and you're overloaded. So eat and drink something after a ritual. It might save your life. And that is all for Ritual Safety 101. We're calling this the Practical Show. The next segment is actually Ritual Safety 201, and it's about magic. So, we'll see you later. Have a good evening.